Do you ever find yourself standing in your closet, looking around at a closet full of clothes and thinking to yourself, you have nothing to wear? Well, you're not alone, so stay tuned. Welcome to the Dress with Purpose podcast. My name is Amanda Hall, your host and your own personal stylist. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons that you feel when you walk into your closet that you have nothing to wear. Please know that you're not alone. I bet anyone listening to this podcast has at one time stood in their closet and thought that they had nothing to wear. So let's take this journey together and let's talk about the 5 things that can cause this feeling of nothing to wear. And let me share some solutions with you for these 5 things. So, number 1, clutter overwhelm. When you walk into your closet, there is so much there that you are completely overwhelmed. Now, I can tell you this is a feeling that I have had and experienced, and really recently went through a huge, massive reorganization and declutter of my closets. Yes, closets, plural. Now I'm down to 1 closet, and it actually was a great feeling to go through that process. So even as professionals or experts still struggle like everyone else. Now, I know that for myself, that because I know my style, I can pick up a lot of things here and there to add to my style. And then without taking things away, then repeats the vicious cycle of overwhelm and clutter and the feeling of having nothing to wear. So the first thing to do is to declutter and to get rid of the things that aren't things that you really love, that are not serving you in your current stage of life. Whatever that is for you, walk through the process of doing a declutter of your closet. Now, the most recent declutter I did, I probably decluttered about 70% of my wardrobe. That was very intentional and on purpose because I was feeling super uninspired and I wanted to challenge myself and to feel inspired by the pieces that I held on to. So the first thing to do to overcome the overwhelm is to do a declutter. Second is when you go to purchase things, is to be very intentional about the things that you are purchasing and go in knowing what you're looking for. If you need a new pair of jeans, then you're on the hunt for a new pair of jeans. If you need a dress for a special occasion or a wedding, find a dress that is going to work for multiple occasions, whether it's a wedding or a dinner date or whatever it is. Try to buy pieces that are going to be a multi-use function for you. And that is one of the other tips that will be coming up. Then another suggestion I have is you do the 1 for 1. Is that when you buy one thing, you put one thing in your closet, take one thing out. Now, I tend to buy multiple things usually when I'm shopping, and so that would require me to take multiple things out and put multiple things in. Obviously, with the amount of overwhelm that I had and the amount of clutter that I had, I was not following that rule very well. The one rule that I have followed well over my career is if I do not wear a piece of clothing within 7 days of purchase, I was not that excited about it. So it is time to return it. So I would encourage you, maybe a 1 for 1 method would work for you. Or if you find that you have a lot of tags still hanging in your closet because you haven't worn them, I would recommend returning them after 7 days if you have not been inspired enough to get them into your wardrobe. That would be a great way to start cutting through the overwhelm. Let's talk about reason number 2, and that is your clothes don't fit. I know. I have been that person who has dreamed of getting into a certain size that I still have sitting in my closet, and I'm overwhelmed, which we just talked about, or I'm saddened or frustrated that I'm not that size. And it's taking up valuable real estate in my closet. So I would encourage you that if there are clothes in your closet that do not fit, whether it's too small a size or it's too large of a size, maybe you have a fear that you're going to put weight back on after weight that you've lost, whatever that is having you hold on to clothes that don't fit, it's important that you migrate those out of your wardrobe. Part of that is you've got to be comfortable and secure in the woman that you are now. And I talked a lot about that in previous podcasts about being clothed in confidence and what it really means to dress with purpose. So I would maybe go back and check those episodes if that is something that you're struggling with or that you are having a hard time letting go of those clothing items that don't fit for a numerous amount of reasons. So really take a look as you go back to thinking about maybe the overwhelm and decluttering your closet to go ahead and let go of the things that don't fit. That will start to create space for things that do fit and things that will inspire you and move you towards feeling like when you walk into your closet that you can pull outfits together and feel confident about what you have. So it's time to get rid of the things in your closet that don't fit. Reason number 3, versatile pieces are missing from your wardrobe. Now, part of when I did my massive declutter was to hold on to pieces that would be versatile, that I could create multiple outfits from. You've heard a lot of people talking about capsule wardrobes, and they're very much at the forefront of the trends going forward here. Capsule wardrobes have been popular for a very, very, very long time. And there are lots of women who have capsule wardrobes for work, for um, for the lifestyles that they have, whether that's a new mom, whether that's a stay-at-home mom, maybe you're retired. We all seem to have a uniform that we wear for our current season of life. And in that, we need to be able to have those versatile pieces that will put together multiple outfits. You heard me say in the last one, if you have to go buy a dress for a wedding that you're going to be attending, make sure it's a dress that you can dress up, that you can dress down, that you could use for multiple occasions. That's what versatile pieces in your wardrobe will allow you to be more creative and more inspired because there are multiple ways that you could wear that outfit. So don't be afraid to keep those things in your wardrobe that are versatile. Reason number 4, you're not quite sure of your personal style. And if this is a journey that you are willing to take, then I would go out to Pinterest. This is my favorite place to find inspiration and to really figure out kind of sometimes when I get a little stuck for inspiration for outfits. Now, I tend to have a more classic style, as well as there are times where I can go very glam. And there are times that I can go even a little bit edgy. So there are a percentage of my wardrobe that can go either direction. I can go very glam with it or I can go very edgy with it. And part of having a capsule wardrobe is having those versatile pieces in there that would allow you to do that. But you need to know what your style is. So go out on Pinterest. Start looking at different outfits and styles and start putting a board together of the things that inspire you, the things that you like, the things that you love, the way that you would like to dress and show up, your personality, who you are through the way you dress. So take time to figure out what your own personal style is. It's not dictated by anybody else. Nobody else is going to tell you, oh, you have to be this particular style. No one told me that I had to be a classic style. And no one told me that I can't be glam with classic or edgy with classic. It really is all about our own confidence and our own choices of what makes us feel good. So it's really important that you start to really hone in on your own personal style, whatever that looks like to you and whatever makes you feel good. Again, I would go back and listen to my previous podcasts about what it means to dress with purpose, because I talk a lot about creativity and our goals and our aspirations and how that impacts how we get dressed. And if you are looking to figure out your own personal style, then I definitely would go back and listen to those podcasts and then sit down and create a style board for yourself. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? And it doesn't matter what size you are. Now, you're going to see pictures on there of skinny models, whatever it is. I'm mid-size, so I wear either a 12 or a 14. So just because they models that they show are in a 2 or a 4 or a 0, to me, it's about the style and how they're wearing it that inspires me. So I would encourage you to put that style board together and start taking that journey to discovering your personal style. That will definitely help you beat the feeling of nothing to wear. Okay, so I saved the best for last, and that's reason number 5, and that is because it has an emotional attachment. Now, there were items, as I did this massive declutter recently, that were very sentimental to me. I had one coat that was part of my stepmother's wardrobe that when she passed, I took, and that is one piece that I will never depart with. Now, there was other pieces in my wardrobe that there was dresses that I had a really good time in, that aren't really fitting into my season right now. So there was really no reason to hold on to that. I still have the memories of that occasion, that party, that dinner, whatever it was that was associated with the outfit that I was wearing. That is what sustained me. So that emotional aspect of the clothing did not quite hold the grip. Now, I did share about the jacket that was my stepmom's, and there's another one or two, there's two purses that I held on to that were very sentimental because they were from her collection of clothing. And so those pieces are good to hold on to. It's the other pieces that sit there in our closets that we don't want to let go of because they have a great memory associated with them. Or there could be clothes hanging in your closet that don't have the best of emotions attached to them. And you don't quite know why you can't get rid of them. That is why when you go through and do a declutter, these are the things that you need to think about. You need to look at the emotional attachment that you have, because there's probably things in your closet that are taking up space that are hold an emotional attachment to you that you don't want to part with because of that, good or bad. So I want you, when you decide to declutter, which is number one, when you decide to remove that, really think about the reasons why you're holding on to your clothes and the emotions that are attached with them, good or bad, and make decisions intentional on why you're going to keep that in your closet. And if it's not something that you wear very often and it's not a versatile piece, it might be a decision that you can, as Marie Kondo would say, hold on to the piece, get the joy and happiness from it, and then let it go. Because of those feelings, you are holding on to something that might not need to be held onto. So it's really important to look at the emotional reasons why you're holding on to the clothes in your closet, good and bad. And I had to do some hard looks when I went through my final pile of keeps. I shouldn't say final pile, but my first pass after the keep pile, when I had to go through and make hard decisions about the things that I was holding on to. And I allowed myself to have the good memories and think about those occasions and remember to tuck those away because the memories don't go anywhere when the clothes do. So it might be time to let go of the emotional attachment to the clothes that are hanging in your closet that may be causing you to feel like you have nothing to wear. Okay, so we talked about the 5 reasons why we stand in our closet and think that we have nothing to wear when there is a full closet of clothes. First off, we talked about overwhelm. Overwhelm, girls, you gotta declutter. You got to get things out of your closet and really start narrowing it down to the things that are, 1, versatile, 2, may or may not hold some sentimental value, but those pieces can also work with the rest of your wardrobe. You gotta find your personal style. Weed out the things that don't make you confident, that don't make you feel good about yourself. Get rid of those things. We want what we have to look at in our closet to make us happy, to feel confident, and to walk with our heads held high when we get dressed every day. So it's really important to get rid of the overwhelm of having too many things to declutter and decompress your wardrobe. So then, number 2, make sure you're holding on to the versatile pieces in your wardrobe. Maybe you want to start thinking about building a capsule wardrobe that would allow you the freedom to hold on to things that have multiple use for you. Bring in the right things that fit your body, that mold your body, that make you feel good. So bringing in those versatile pieces or keeping those versatile pieces will allow you to feel more inspired and more creative. Number 3, it's time to part with the things that don't fit. It's so important that whether it's too big, too small, for us as women to accept the bodies that we have right now. And let me tell you, it's hard at times to accept the bodies, especially for me who's menopausal and has been for almost a decade, dealing with clothes that fit well and clothes that work for my shape. And so holding on to things that don't fit us, whether they're too big or too small, and we beat ourselves up for not being the size that we want to be, or we're fearful of if we part with the things that after we've lost weight, the bigger clothes, that we're going to get bigger again and we're going to have nothing to wear. So please, please, when you're going through your wardrobe, get rid of the things that don't fit. It will actually free you. It may hurt in the first, But I'm telling you, it will bring you such freedom to have those things out of your closet because you won't beat yourself up for the things that you can't get into, and you won't be scared that you will end up back where you were before. So please get rid of the clothes in your closet that do not fit. Then number 4, know your personal style. Really lean in and embrace who you are as a woman and go out, play on Pinterest, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, save to your favorites, outfits by other women that you're inspired by. Start to figure out what your personal style looks like. And our personal style is individual to each of us. I mean, we may have a same personal style, but the way we do it is completely different. And so I think that that's one of the funnest journeys to experience is going through and figuring out what your personal style is. My personal style is classic and polished with hints of glam and hints of edgy. I can go either of those directions, and I can have pieces in my closet that reflect those, as well as you can do the same with your personal style. Then the last one, the one that will probably be the hardest for most of us, I know it was difficult for me, is getting rid of pieces that have emotional attachment. Now, the pieces that I held on to in my recent massive declutter were sentimental pieces that were left to me by my stepmom when she passed. And there was a few key pieces that I held on to. But some of the other pieces I had to let go. There have been pieces of clothing in my closet that have had sentimental value, that have had great times in, bad times in, and they had to be decluttered. We can't be a captive to emotions, good or bad. Know that the good is always going to remain with us in our memories and times as we can look back on them and be excited by them and remember them so fondly, but they don't need to continue to hang in your closet. So, those are the 5 things. I've given you some suggestions on how to overcome some of these reasons that we stand in our closet and think that we have nothing to wear. So it's time, ladies. It's time to remember that you get to choose every day to dress with purpose. And part of that is solving the problem of having nothing to wear. All right. So it's time to take some action. I would love for you to write down in the comments below if there was one of these 5 reasons that when you stand in front of your closet, you feel like you have nothing to wear, and what action step you're going to take to solve that feeling, that issue that you feel that you have nothing to wear. Then I would love for you to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future podcasts. If you know someone that may have stood in their closet and said they had nothing to wear, one of your girlfriends, now you can tell her she's not alone and feel free to share this podcast with her. I am so thankful and so grateful that you are here and that you are choosing a journey to choose every day to dress with purpose. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of the Dress with Purpose podcast. See you next week.